right, it's that lovely moment again when we open our mouths real wide and get heard on things that will influence not just those of us who are here, but you who is watching us right now. Now, when I talk about influence, I talk about positivity, and today we'll be zeroing in on positive lifestyle. But what does it mean? Someone once told me that life is beautiful, but then the beauty of it all comes from the inside. That's positive thinking and live positively. Well, we'll get to masticate that, chew that, and find out more about it. And of course, we welcome you with your discussion, observations, and questions via our social media handle. And just before we do that, we'll take a break. When we come back, I have lovely people in the house. We'll get them introduced.
Whenever I'm angry or I'm provoked by anyone, I just like, maybe for the fact I tell someone about it, it's gone.
My baby can calm me down. I just look at my baby and be happy. Or I can forget that situation at that particular time. Or I can watch music. I can listen to music, or I watch television, something like that.
Depends on the kind of situation I find myself. Maybe if I'm like fagged out or busy in the office, I can maybe go out, go to the library or somewhere as a visitor's room, relax for some few minutes. But when I'm off, like at home, maybe weekends, I can take some time and hours off.
No, I don't want to speak, because if I speak, I will say a thing that I will regret later. So whenever I'm annoyed, I don't speak to people. Rather go to bed and sleep. Yes, that's me. Because once I'm annoyed, I say things that are off the line. So I always try to keep mute whenever I'm annoyed.
I motivated myself through engaging in playing with my children, watching TV or football. When I'm watching football or playing with my children, I will forget all the sad events that happened. You understand? So that is how I normally have a relief when I'm not happy.
My own personal view, if I am not happy or somebody annoy me, for me, for my own personal understanding, simple for me as a Muslim, as a believer, I will take ablution, go to the mosque and sit down and pray to my Almighty Allah. Inshallah, within 30 minutes or 1 hour, my mind will cool down.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take its pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys, they're not ready to marry.
Yes. If she wants to ask something, no, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, you know, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture.
The program is Conversations, and I'm Elizabeth. I know you're Z.
Yes, I haven't changed.
Z can't possibly change. Chukuma or Haka. All right. Chukuma is an embodiment of a whole lot of things, but let me just not say it. Say it yourself. I know you're an entrepreneur.
I'm always confused when people ask me to.
You're a pharmacist.
I'm not a pharmacist, but I own a pharmacist.
Okay.
So I don't want to be on the air though. I'm a pension consultant. That's my area. First, I work with a pension administrator, so we plan people to retire and retire well. And because of the stories I've heard from people who complained, having worked for the government and spending their whole life achieving nothing on retirement, I decided to settle myself before I retire. From their stories, I started up business, knowing that business could be only way you fall into when you retire. So I own a business, or I own businesses. And I'd love to also create the bridge by seeing if I could employ some people in the country.
I'm looking for employment.
I know.
Okay,
I was about to say the same.
You have 4 people.
So
4 capable
you
people.
already have
No
people.
problem. No
Four
problem.
of
It's
us.
good. It makes it
I can
easier.
even sweep.
Ah.
I can be a janitor.
No, you don't need to. Just be the face of GNC. You be this, you be that. Everyone will be where they were. So
And life
You'll be on
is
your
good.
billboard.
All right.
money will come.
That's Enabong. Enabong is always glad to have you speak
Thank
out
you,
in
Auntie Lizzie,
issues
thank
such as
you.
this. But we are looking at positive lifestyle, generally, what to make us happy. People have actually said that Nigerians are the most happiest people. Sometimes I wonder if it's true.
Nothing do us.
Nothing to us, right?
We die here.
We die here. Nothing do us. Even in the hardest time, nothing do us. Tying gilly, tying rapper all at the same time, nothing do us.
You know, I was watching a man really this morning. He was doing the lawn, you know, mowing it, and he was supposed to be wearing some things to cover up. He didn't have one, so I noticed the man tucked in his t-shirt. I, you know, lifted this one up and held it this way. So he had to do his the garden, and at the same time live healthy. I said, this can only happen here. You know, we always find a way to improvise.
Yes.
Because
You know.
we believe in, we must succeed.
When there's a
But as
will,
it be,
there's a
we
way,
must
there's a
succeed.
will. There's a will, there's
Nigerians
a
are
will.
die-hard people. Nigerians, everywhere I see a Nigerian, I just like, God created us differently. That's a reason for God to make us Nigerian, because God has seen that Nigeria will be Nigeria. Because everyone in Nigeria thinks the same way. When things become too difficult, when things are tough, you see a Nigerian surviving.
But the thing is, we need to do more than just survive. We need to enjoy, you know, our lives, which is why we're actually treating this topic. Now, what really is positive lifestyle? What do we do to ensure that there's positivity in our lives?
Well, first of all, to me, I always say positive thinking brings positive things. You don't have to be the richest person to be the happiest person. There are people that have never seen planes, have never seen gold, diamonds, 2-story built. They live in a mud house. But when you meet them, they're full of joy. They're full of happiness. You see them and you're like, oh, they're at peace. So everybody needs to identify what their source of peace is. I had a group of young people yesterday, and I spoke about this exact topic. And I said, you are in control of your emotions. You are in control of yourself. There is nobody. The minute you give out that responsibility to somebody else, you have lost yourself in its entirety. Nobody should dictate when you become happy. Nobody should dictate when you're angry. Nobody should dictate when you should be sad. That is your power. So identify what it is that makes you happy. If you don't know who you are, take a breather from the world. Find a moment and find who you are. Identify, okay, if I move this from here, it would make me angry. If this person throws that at me, it would make me angry. If I sleep till 12 p.m., it would make me happy. Do what makes you happy, because the happier you are, the longer you live.
Sleep till 12. What happened to the war?
Hey, let me tell you, there's a day.
There was a day you slept till 12.
Past 12.
Oh my God.
I mean, like, sleeping is like one of the best things I do.
Yes.
Really? I wish I could.
Yes.
I find it difficult to
If
sleep.
I'm stressed, if I'm depressed, if I'm anxious,
happy,
if I'm even
sad.
hungry, the only solution, give me a bed. No, don't give me a bed. Give me a room anywhere I can sleep. I can sleep anywhere. I can sleep in the
I wonder
club.
how sleep takes away hunger.
Mine is if I sleep 4 a.m., my waking up time is 6 a.m.
You don't have a good sleeping habit.
I must wake up. Even
But
if
that's
I-
not really a positive lifestyle.
That's what I'm saying. That when
Doctor
you say-
said you need 8 hours of sleep.
No,
Exactly.
it's about
I am
that.
telling you.
Minimum
No,
is
what
7.
I'm saying is that
Minimum.
you could sleep. You said something about you could sleep for 12 hours. I said I wish I could. That's what I'm trying to say. I
You
wish I
choose
could.
not to.
Not like I choose
It's
not
a
to.
choice.
I've
It's a
conditioned
choice
my
of
life
life.
like that. But what I do
Which is
for
a
my
choice.
life, yeah, you're
There
right.
you
What
go.
I do for my life is I know how to do it because of my hustling nature. Because I leave the paid job and I come to my own job. Like I tell my friends, I close by 5, I resume another job by 5, and I close by 10. Then by the time I tidy up the accounts, it may be around 12, and I'm sleeping, and I'm waking up to go to work the next day. But what I do is I take out time for holiday. And when I want to do holiday, it's holiday. And because of the nature of my job also, what I do is when we go for trips, basically our job finishes like 12. Our meeting is usually finished by 12 to 1, 2 in the afternoon. I lock myself in. I'm not the visit kind of person. I don't just have a lot of people around me. All I do is once it's out of Abuja, out of those areas that need my attention, I block myself and I lock myself up inside. I may not be sleeping, but I'm relaxing. I'm calming myself down.
I want to ask you a question. Seeing that you're overworking your body, your organs, your brain, your eyes, when's the last time you did like a medical checkup?
Last 2 weeks.
How did that go?
Beautiful.
Did you check every single thing?
I do it every...
High blood pressure?
Everything.
Everything, and it's good?
Everything. I wish I could come with it.
So we have a Superman here.
Because I want to,
because he's kind of lifestyle.
Everyone is scared for me. Everyone is scared for me. Sometimes they'll tell me.
I can see your eyes are like not.
I mean, like I'm meeting her for the first time and she's already scared for you. Like, did you see the way she asked you?
The questions I get every day has always been, how do you manage this too? I have friends, they'll come and say, Chuki, how do you manage this too? How do you do this? And it has become a lifestyle. Now, what has driven me so far has been passion.
Yeah.
Now, when you love what you do, you will always want to be there.
Yes.
A man marries a beautiful wife, he always goes around with his wife every day.
Bam.
You love your wife, you go around with your wife. You love what you do. The two things I'm doing are things I love to do always.
Okay.
I love to attend to people. I love to listen to people who are about to retire. I love to guide people and make sure they make the right decision. And I love to be in my environment to serve people. Now, whenever I'm at my shop, you wouldn't know I'm the owner because I want to serve people. I want people to get the best. So it's like it's a footballer. You can't tell Okocha tomorrow, Okocha, how do you love to play football? See Ronaldo. A footballer plays football.
Yes, definitely. But let's find out from, what forms positive lifestyle in your brain for you.
Okay, for me, I think the first thing is the options you make as a person towards positivity. Now, it's not really about me, what makes me happy. What is your purpose in life? How do you influence this other person? How do you make the other person happy? Because some people, just you being happy makes them happy. So now, as a person, let's use Nigeria for instance, for an example, with all the millions of people we have around, how do you as a person live a positive life? Yes, we know that, okay, Nigeria, okay, we are happy people, we are always, responsive and all, but there's so many people who are crying, there's so many people who are depressed, so many people who, are sick simply because of the day, as simple as the road range, the traffic. People are depressed from having to drive in Lagos, and there are no doctors for them to speak to. So what are the options you use as a person to influence positivity? So in my office, how do I influence positivity? What lifestyle am I bringing to the table? Okay, so yes, the Nigerian government, you have to bribe your way through. Security guy, you have to bribe your way through to get into this office. That is some form of negativity. As a person, no matter where you are, how do you push? How do you foster positivity? Okay, so you're in traffic because you are driving a range and there's a keke man in front of you. You feel you cannot brake a little for him to pass, or because you are FIRS official, you feel you can beat the traffic lights, not considering if it is green on the other side and it can cause, an accident.
So this thing you're
what
mentioning,
do you do as a person?
It reminds me, there's some police people, they feel they're very important.
They feel very entitled.
Sometimes it's not even, there's no urgency, there's no emergency. They just see traffic and then suddenly siren goes. And they're driving like tomorrow. It's happening now.
Maybe before yesterday, I'm driving towards Bolingo. I'm going to work. And if you know that area very well, there is this tunnel that comes up.
Yes, yes.
So the thing is, I calculate when I'm driving. So I see this convoy, about 4 cars, with the police in front. So I'm moving towards them. They are moving towards me. But they were not having the siren on. The moment these guys saw me, they went, wow, wow. And, if I did not have good brakes, this would have been me. Because they drove towards me, like so close to me that I had to brake. Then I wonder, like, you guys are stupid. I went, I'm like, you are foolish. And the guy said, madam, no vex, make we just pass, they go. I'm like, that's not an excuse. You just did something very crazy. If I wasn't a good driver or a calculative driver, because it's not about you being good, you have to be calculative.
Yes.
That would have been an issue.
A better state of mind. If your state of mind is not okay, you're gone.
That would have been an issue.
The funny thing is that the people that do that may not be sent by the people that are at the top.
We know.
And just like what I say, that you give someone who is of no influence, forgive me for using that word, an opportunity, you want to use it to oppress people. They have that siren, so they want to oppress everyone. They want people to know, man, I'm in charge. Yeah, I liken it to, when you give your house help opportunity to be in charge of your house.
Oh,
you know what happens. You know how it happens. Hey. So that's the same thing. You see people trying to oppress people because they have the opportunity to oppress people. Not because the owner of the house had said, go and oppress people. But, a situation like that, you see them, when that harm is done, you see them coming to their real self. They will see,
but the truth
Madam,
is,
no vex. Madam, no vex.
The truth is, crazy. I look at this as all these people that like to oppress people. I'm going to go back to this whole positivity thing. They come from a state of mind where they've been suppressed. They don't have that positive light. They didn't grow up with this, they have the authority, so you can exercise it. When you grow up with the power, with the authority, you're like, I beg. I don't have to flex muscle to show you that I am powerful. You know that the lion does not have to go and be roaring for you to know that he is the lion.
He's like the woman who is the party. Those are the most influential people.
Just like when someone asks me, do you know who I am? I always tell them, you are anybody. Anybody that says, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?
Please introduce yourself, because I actually don't.
The person
and then you call your name, I'll tell you, it doesn't ring a bell.
It doesn't ring a bell.
Am I supposed to know you?
Are you related?
Anyway, I come from a particular region where a lot of times, if you think you've arrived, just from what you said, the first thing you're asked is who you help. You must carry people along. And for me, that's positivity. If you think you have made money, if you think you're intelligent, if you think you have established, the best thing for you to do is to look around, who can you influence? And seriously, when you touch lives, you have greater joy.
Yes.
That's when you live longer, because apart from the joy you have on the inside, the people you touch their lives, they pray for you.
Yes.
They work extra to protect you.
Yes.
But if you believe in consuming alone, well, that security man who is guarding you, receiving pittance as salary, you're paying somebody 20,000, you're driving a car of 2 million, and you're servicing that car with 200,000 every other week, and you're paying that person 20,000. When armed robbers come in, he will be fast to open the door for them. Or when kidnappers come in,
he will want to set it up.
I will point you towards the proper direction. So
exactly.
Well, what you said is right with regards to making impacts in the lives of people. Also, I have a definition on what I call wealth. The way I define who is rich is not who drives whatever kind of car, who lives in whatever kind of house. What I define it as, if I want to drink a camel, pap, and I can take it at the time I want to take it, that gives me my definition of wealth. If I want to sleep on the mat, I'm sleeping on the mat. If I can afford to eat kose, the akara, at any time, I will eat it. That gives me the satisfaction. Why it's difficult for people to get this positive thing, that people measure themselves with others. Unhealthy comparison, competition.
And a lot of times, those people are not really happy.
Nobody, yes. When you begin to...
Listen, you can't surround yourself with negativity and say that you're going to be positive. It's not possible. The group of... The family you come from would tell from when you sit down with people. The group of friends you have, we will know who you... What's that saying? Show me your friends,
and I will
tell you who you are. You cannot come and say, oh, you're friends with Aliko, or you're friends with Atedola, or you're friends with what's Glow?
Mention my name now.
Yes.
Chukuma.
Chukuma is here. You know, you're friends with these people, but then you haven't done anything. You don't have anything to show.
for it.
So why are you friends with these people? These are intellectual people that have grown themselves from nothing to something. They have lived a life of positivity to where now, when you come around and you can taste the positivity. But if you decide that you want to hang around armed robbers and murderers and thieves, and you say, oh, you're going to come out as this big, powerful, positive person with great philosophies, it's not true. It's not possible. Who you hang around with is who is going to influence you.
You know, my question now is, where did we get it wrong? Because as you were talking, I looked back to the days of when the villages were actually happening. The days when long vacations, we'll go to visit our grandma in the villages, and they're very happy. They look very healthy. They live longer.
And we look towards
And meanwhile,
those days.
every single thing we ate came from the backyard.
Yeah, well,
Just very started associating with Obodo Oyibo. That's why.
From her question, I was going to even answer that before you asked.
Okay.
For me, I feel it's not about the amount of money you have or the amount of publicity you have that makes you a positive person. You can be positive in the markets. If you drive into Wuse Market and try to buy something, then you see some guy saying, oh, let's buy fabric. Then takes you to a shop that is not his own, and he gives a certain fabric at 2,500. The price of that fabric is 1,500. The shop owner is aware.
Yes.
And he sells it to you, the unsuspecting customer, and shares the profit with the shop owner. How do you drive positivity from the grassroots? It's a problem that affects everybody. It's not really about some people at the top, the names you've mentioned, most of them, if you check, it's not really about what we see. It's about what the reality is. Are the people who are working with them, are they happy? The secretary in their office, are they happy? The cleaners, do they even know their name? Because for me, if I'm going to work with Otedola, maybe not being his friend, I don't have to be his friend, but just working in his office, the greatest thing that will give me satisfaction is him knowing my name.
Passing you by
maybe he's passing by and I'm mopping his office like, oh, hi, Enobong, how are you? That can make me go home and be happy.
I think,
but how do you know if this is happening?
I don't go to Otedola's office, so I cannot speak on Otedola's matter. But for those that I know and for those that I associate myself with, the positive ones, they walk in, you don't know that they are Oga, because they don't move around with mopo, bodyguard, da 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 da. I was fortunate to meet Aliko. He happens to be my dad's friend. But apart from that, on my own as a grown-up, I was fortunate to meet him a couple of times. And to my greatest surprise, this man drives himself.
No, I know a lot about him as a person.
He's very humble.
Very humble.
He is humility. The real sense of the word humility.
You know, that
says hello to every
he is
single
exceptional.
Hello, hello, hello.
But that is one in a million.
No, okay, can we just bring the
but that one in a million, that you would expect this person that they say is the richest man in Africa, the richest black man, everybody is to carry himself like this.
No,
like,
I don't.
Like his thing doesn't. Like
he can't do that.
I don't expect that. I don't expect that from him. If you have your money and you've worked for it, there's nothing for you to show off.
I don't expect him to even do
it's yours.
What he's doing. I'm not surprised at what he's doing.
Why do you say that?
I'm not from this country that we come from.
Compare with his mates. Compare with his mates. When Biget comes around, you see Biget is around. He's humble.
He's humble.
No, but Biget is not Nigerian.
No,
it doesn't matter.
No, we're talking about
because you can compare. No, we're not talking about positivity.
It's about us.
You can compare Dangote with the likes of the world.
Yes,
you can compare him.
He's an elite.
I'm comparing to the average Nigerian man that is a billionaire or millionaire, whatever they call it.
But the problem of Nigeria is not about the billionaires, it's about everybody. The common man and the billionaires all have
that earns 25 and the Megan that earns 50. You see,
it's not about money.
Earn more than you.
It's not about the money. It's about personality.
It's not about the money. It's about personality.
The background, the upbringing.
It's about people. It's about people.
What do you mean?
I always say I serve the worst. I serve the best kind of customers and in the world today, because their reaction, I'll off camera, I'll tell you the kind of customers I serve. But from the people I have served, I've come to know the behavioral pattern of Nigerians. And recently I did a research and I told someone, I said, okay, now I know why so many people behave the way they behave. It happens as little as my little shop. You give someone a little power to supervise.
Your shop is not small.
You give someone little supervisory power. You see the beast in that person coming out. This is not, he has not made money. He just say, be in charge. You see him oppressing people. It has to do with people. It has to do with where we are coming from. It is individual. And our upbringing has a lot to do with us. And you said something that how we are brought up has a lot to affect us, to influence us. Because if you are from an oppressed home, you will always appear very aggressive anywhere you are, except you speak to yourself to change that mindset. There are people, whatsoever you say about them, it must be their voice that will be heard. And if their voice is not heard, every other person's voice is nothing. You understand? And when such people find themselves when I come around, I look at them and I will laugh. Sometimes I won't argue with them. I just tell them, I know where he is from. I know where he is from. And I say it with all sense of humility. And finally, I'll just bring them. We've had so many people, a lot of people complain to me about a particular person. And I'll say, okay, how do you react to this person that made this person react to you this way? What we give also affects what we receive.
You know, you're very correct on that.
But we can break that, though.
Yes, we can.
Process.
You break that process as you're growing up, if you choose to.
Yes, but
coming from an oppressed home.
Your parents were always, hitting themselves does not necessarily mean that you must have to hit.
Yes.
I tell people, if my father is a drunk, I didn't like it, that's to tell me I should never go near alcohol.
Draw strength from his weakness. Exactly. I always tell people, draw strength from your weakness.
Those things you didn't like, don't tell me it runs in the DNA.
Yes.
What's that?
Draw strength from your weakness.
Is it a medical status? It's not.
But
even the medical status like diabetes, if you know it's in your family, you work against it. So everything you don't like about your family, you can break it.
Yes.
But then when we talk about positive lifestyle, a lot of people think it's all about what you ingest. For instance, level 8 officer gets paid a certain amount of money, and then as he's growing, she gets to becoming a manager, a director. She tells you levels has changed, and then that's when she starts eating a whole plate of fisio, all on her own or his own, with good red wine. You know what I mean? For dinner.
They copy.
And then they begin to do all those things.
Copy.
Is it what you ingest that are not really good for you? How does it translate to a positive lifestyle?
People take a certain amount of food as a reward for hard work. For instance, like this example you just gave, maybe growing up, she did not have so much to eat. And then all her own is just, let me struggle and climb through. And then she sees this shishi. The first thing she's doing is to reward herself.
With food.
I feel like it's a well-deserved reward, because some people would go and buy perfumes, some people would go and buy bags, some would buy shoes, some cars. So if you're going to eat ishe with one full pot, do it.
But don't do it daily basis.
Every day.
No, if it's a one-off thing, why not?
Yes.
But when it becomes every day,
it becomes a psychological problem. Then you need to see a doctor.
The other day.
You rewarded yourself?
I rewarded myself with food the other day. I was so happy. Not only did I reward myself that day, I went back on 3 occasions to eat that same exact thing.
It's a lie.
I promise you.
No, but if you do that for 1 month, then I recommend you see a doctor.
All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Z will still enunciate on that.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, The difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take its pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not ready to marry.
Yes. If she wants to ask something, no, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, you know, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a day I got tired of all that and I said,
It's still conversation, and we are still looking at positive thinking now. When we live positive lifestyle, we know the benefits, it's enormous. But then what are the consequences of not being on that positive, lane at all times?
It's like a pyramid. Once your foundation becomes, once it's negative, everything starts to crumble. Because there's this book that I read, I think about 10 years ago. And I bought the CD. It's called The Secret.
Beautiful book.
Have you read it?
Oh, you read it?
Beautiful. I read that book. I bought the CD. I put it in my car. So every time I drive to work, I'm listening to it. And there was there's one thing that I can never forget. The lady said, once you put negativity into your head, you put it, your mouth utters those words, the universe hears it.
Straight.
And the universe automatically moves everything negative into your path.
Attracts it to you.
It's a law of an attraction, law of attraction. You wake up in the morning and you say, oh my God, I'm going to be late to work. Oh, I'm going to be late to work.
You end up going.
You will see the water will not start running. You get to your car, it will not start. You say, okay, let me get to the train. Train is late. You start running, shoe breaks. Universe starts putting all negative things in front of you. And then all of a sudden, you're late to work. But then you wake up and you say, I'm going to be on time. You will see that day there's no traffic on the road. All the lights are green. You get to work, there's that open parking space right in front. You park, you get to work.
It happens.
It's all about the mind. You put negativity out, automatically you get sick and you say, I'm dying. The universe has heard it. You know,
what you're saying now, I tell a lot of people who would maybe not come to work and they're calling sick. And I tell them, these things follow. You give excuses with your children. My child is sick. We're going for inoculation. We're going for treatment. We're going to. When your child is not sick, be ready. He that cries wolf. One day the real wolf will come. There's nothing as beautiful. I tell myself, I wake up, I look into the mirror, and I stretch. Maybe I'm really tired, and I tell myself, you're the best thing that happened to this universe.
Yes.
You're the best gift. You're the most beautiful people, because I want to feel that way from the inside. Because you're not really beautiful on the outside until you feel beautiful inside. Because the skin which we look at actually, fades out. It's that beauty inside that lives and lives until eternity. So it's important for me to feel beautiful inside, which is why I may not have all the money in the world to buy all the beautiful things, but I'm always happy. And the little money I have, seriously, I make sure I eat well. Because if I nourish my inner body, it shows on the skin.
At least another way to stay positive is Thanksgiving.
Yes.
You have to be thankful.
Yes.
You have, no matter what.
That's key.
The truth is that people don't know how to be thankful. Some people are like, how do I even thank you? How do I thank you? I know it's not really about, thanking God or kneeling down to pray. You can thank your car for taking you to work safely. Because these cars can disappoint you.
Do you know that?
You can thank your eyes.
My personal things by their real names. I could tell you, my friends, my family members, they all know. I said, please give me that guy. I'm talking to him like he's a human being. I'll enter the car. I say, this guy, please, better not disappoint me. Otherwise, I'll kick your head. How am I supposed to kick a car? but we're related. It takes me to work. It brings me back.
People are not thankful. People don't know how to be grateful.
Would I call
so
it
much entitlement?
Entitlement mentality. People think I'm deserving of this. I'm deserving of this.
I worked hard.
I work hard.
Here's the thing. Every single day, I have let me say it's part of me now. The minute I open my eyes, the first thing I say is, thank you for my first blessing. Because waking up is a blessing on its own.
It's a gift.
That's your first blessing of the day. That's to tell you that the rest of your day, it will be filled with blessings.
That's what I always advise people. The energy you use to think negative is the same energy you could use to think positive.
It's even more.
It's easier to think
positive.
positive.
It's a choice you make. Now, I always advise, make every conscious effort to think positive. When we were speaking yesterday, I told you, I can't remember when I've used an abusive words. I used to, because I could run out of it, and gradually I started working on myself. I identified the areas of my weaknesses, and one day I told myself, guy, you're gradually becoming very, very well, very soon now your face, you're this, you're that. So I started putting myself where I want to be in the future. Now, my friends, the list of friends I have, I'm careful about them. The places I find myself, I'm careful about them. The kind of books I read, I'm selective about them. So
you're reading a book today?
Yes, I have a book I'm reading. So the kind of things I do, it's a very funny book. It's a very funny book.
What's the title?
Before
you quit your job.
Before you quit your job.
By who? Let me see.
Robert Kiyosaki. It's a must read for all of us who work.
Okay.
Because so many of us it talked about people who jump out to go into business and not having any knowledge about business. I've learned a lot of lessons from this, because to the point I was like, oh, I'm doing business. I think it's time to leave my job. And when I read this book, I realized, oh, fine, if you had left, then you would have left prematurely, because most of the things I thought I had, I've not had. And selecting the books you read can also have influence you. But when you bring this thought about happiness and positive lifestyle to the grassroots, most of them, one of the contributors is the entitlement mentality. They are angry because they look at an uncle and say, my uncle has not helped me. And they are angry, not knowing, like one day, I got several calls, and I asked the last caller, who do you think I should call? If I should give everybody that has called me today money, who will give me? You people should also think that we are human. They don't think that way. Most times, people believe that I am deserving of this, I should get it. And it affects how... A funny thing, you keep malice with a man that doesn't know you keep malice with him. And you are dying. You are killing yourself.
Sorry to cut you. You know, another thing I have to add to this is family. Family has a way of making you either positive or negative. Extended family. So you are a young person, like he is. I'm meeting him, for example. He's working, he's making some money. And then imagine he has maybe 4 siblings and then they are not working. And all of them are trying to depend solely on him. At some point, he's going to go into depression because it's not easy. You can't really handle it. You may have all the money in the world right now.
It's not about money. It's about decision. Now, let me say this.
What I'm trying to say is, you may be able, as a person, you sitting down there, you may be able to handle it because of the love you have for your family. How many people can truly say, I can handle such a pressure?
It's not because of the love I have for them.
It pushes you.
It
pushes you to take strange decisions at work.
It's not about the love I have for them.
This thing you just said just triggered something in my head. I was watching something, Toni Braxton. She said, I don't like my family. I love them, but I don't like my family. If they were not my family, I would not be friends with them. If they were not my family, if I was to choose, I would not have chosen them. But they are my family. I love them, but I don't like them. And a lot of us suffer from that.
People are suffering and gradually going into depression because of family.
If people do that, they are not helping themselves. This is it. One of the things I defined to push my life forward is, have you ever thought that man you didn't give money didn't die because you didn't give that money?
Of course.
Nobody's going to die because
when you have a strong will.
It's not about strong will. It's about defining your goal.
The thing is that those people will outlive you if you're not careful.
Yes, it's about
that's my point.
It's about defining your goal.
Take care of you first.
It's about defining
You
your
are your
goal.
first
If you define your goal,
priority.
what I did was I defined an amount that goes to them every month. If that amount gets exhausted, call me till tomorrow. You have to wait.
But
till the
life
next
is
time.
not about money.
No. I mean,
Time,
one has to do that.
energy. It's consuming.
See,
The problem, the pressure.
you allow. See, you allow when you, it's only when you open your door that people walk in.
Yes, but some people don't know how to keep that
It is
door
exactly.
closed.
It's not
don't
what
know
they
the
should
drop
do.
lines.
You're
It's
saying
not
it like
what they should do.
it's easy. You're saying
It's
it
not
like it's
easy.
easy. It's
It
not.
was- yes.
See, I am the most nonchalant person. Ask anybody that knows me. I am the most nonchalant person. If I don't want to do something, let my mother be here on her knees. I will look at her, mommy, your knees know they hurt you. I will not do it. But sometimes when you get that immense pressure, you're like, the way your brain will start recalculating.
Yeah.
You'll be
No,
thinking that
seriously.
maybe I'm the
It
one
is-
that's
it
wrong
is-
in this
Okay,
situation.
It's exasperating.
I worked with a boss that told me, do you know you can't take all the calls you need that comes all the time? I said, thank you, sir. You mustn't take all the calls. Listen, it's not fine.
You can't even take all the calls.
It's
When I
fine.
feel
You
pressured,
can't.
I'll tell them the cell phone is very good, but it's a lot of trouble.
When you
When
die,
I feel pressured, I just leave that phone.
when
It will ring out.
the man that died does not know. You see, I was telling one of my friends who's in the UK, and he was calling to tell me, guy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I told him, I said, I know you. I visited you severally, and I see how you work. I told him, do you know the unfortunate thing? That the man you're crying to send this money to now, you might send this money, you are bothering yourself, your head to send to him, and he takes his girlfriend to go and eat nkwobi.
Oh.
And you're busy killing yourself. Guy, keep quiet and focus on your focus.
Let me tell you what happened. You mentioned about overseas. There's a guy that I had to advise. He lives overseas, and every month he sends money to families
They would
to help them. They are always telling him one problem or the other.
Of course.
He
He
keeps sending.
never
That
stops.
man, until he got aged and retired, he was not able to do anything for himself. But his money was able to do things for people. He came back to Nigeria to live, and there was no house. The same people he helped were not able to help him. Really, I think when we started, I did say that positive thinking or positive lifestyle is loving yourself first, feeling good from the inside.
First.
Because when you love yourself, you can be in better position to love other people. You can't give what you don't have.
At all.
Exactly. You can't give the
Love is
positivity
very
that you never had.
expensive to dash to anybody.
It's not possible.
I'm not going to give that.
And then loving yourself for me means, being spiritually alert, contributing your quota to the society, and whatever you find yourself, be it office, public or private, ensure that
You're
you
doing the
serve or do what you're expected to do, really. And if you have extra to bring to the table,
Do it.
be able to do it.
Be
Always,
okay with saying no.
yes.
If it makes you happy.
No is one of the best
Say no.
answers ever.
Auntie, no.
And the most difficult thing to say.
No is my
Because
favorite one.
the thing is,
Oh, his
there are a lot of
family,
people, like you said, who feel entitled. They see Z now, as we speak on the TV. See that babe. I mean, I go secondary school. They
dey
carry
TV.
phone. Z. Now, wow. You don't go Abuja, come forget me now. Now, me, I be your babe. And instantly, they are planning how to
Emotional
make money.
blackmail.
Yes.
They're
You know,
going to
they are
blackmail
planning how to
emotionally.
siphon something from you, which is wrong. I think that instead of you doing that, there are people who feel that they don't have. They come to visit you, they come empty-handed. And then they even tell me, I went to see this person. I said, what did you take to the kids? He said, big man, me carry things, how? I said, do you know that a big man, I went to see a friend. He's supposedly very rich, could afford everything. On my way, I bought good-looking banana and granules. I got to the place. The chef was cooking, and the food wasn't ready. He saw that banana. I said, Madam Lizzie, please bring him. I'm so hungry. Before I could say Jack, 6 of them had gone with my granules.
He's a human being.
I said, Mazi, what's wrong with you? He said, you have just saved a life. People think because you're very rich,
You don't have
because
problems.
you don't have a problem. You can
it's
solve that
common
problem.
It's common in this part of the world. It's common in this part of the world. People think that those who are on top don't deserve to get anything. And in most cases, it's not money you give.
It could be services.
It could be
As
services.
simple as you texting your friend, maybe a rich person, saying, have a lovely day. How was your day? How are you? How is your health?
No.
It goes a long way. People
Nobody
don't
thinks
know.
that. It's all about me.
What can I get?
I want.
I don't know who this person is from Adam. The message stated, sis, please send me 2,500 naira. I need to buy food for my baby.
Can you imagine it?
I don't know you.
So much arrogance.
The way I read the message and just left it there, just hanging in cyberspace, I asked myself, I said, this person, she must have thought that her grandmother must have given me money to keep for her. Do you not know that me, myself, as I am here, if you give me the 2,500 naira, I'll take it?
You double.
I will spread straight.
And thank you.
I will bless you and your whole generation and the future generations.
We have a challenge here, but we're not going to dwell on the challenge. And people should learn to, first and foremost, think first of giving before you think of receiving.
It's in the Bible.
When you give, you will receive.
The more you give, the more you get.
Giving might not be money. Giving might be service.
Services.
Now, the fact that someone gave you a lift and you see that the guy's car doesn't have a footmat and you exchange number, next time you say, oh, God, how far? I have a gift for you. Give the person a footmat. You may not know what the footmat may have put into the mind of the man. I have a friend today, anytime, any day, she calls me and says, Chuki, I need this. I give. When I came to Abuja newly, we flew together, we became friends. And one day then I was trying to settle in and I just asked, where do you know I can get a gas cylinder? He said, okay, I have somebody, I'll talk to the person in total. By evening I called, I said, have you seen the person? Have you spoken to the person? He said, okay, Chuki, come to the bank. I came to their branch and she opened her car, gave me a beautiful gas cylinder. And I didn't ask. And I said, how much? I was willing to pay back. He said, no, it's my gift to you. I'll do not till tomorrow. Any day she calls me for anything, my head goes to the gas cylinder.
She gives.
No, you're very correct. It happens.
Every day.
It happens.
And it may have been something little. Giving
I tell you my own story. A certain young lady, will come into the city where I was, and madam, I'm around though. I said, okay, I don't know, I'm at work, but I'll call somebody to send you food. I'll send food to them. She will eat, she will thank me. It was nice. Anytime she comes again, I say, okay, can you stop by my office? I send food. Now I got transferred to Abuja and got a place. I called her. I said, I'm in your environment. When did you come? I said, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I needed to find a place so that if I'm inviting you, I know where I'm inviting you. She said, where is the place? I said, I just got it. I don't even know the area very well. I'll go next week. He said, where you're going, let me know. So I called her the day I was going. She said, which area? I told her. She said she knows the place very well. She came around. She drove behind me. We got to the place and looked around. She said, it's a lovely place. She called the security people, opened the boots. The first air conditioner in my house, that lady gave it to me, complete set, inside the carton.
When you were giving food, you were not asking
I said, what is it? She said, when people come around you, we collect everything. I stood there, empty house. We just paid like a couple of days back, and I was crying. Because I didn't expect it. Yeah. People... You may not understand what you do. By every morning you have a little bit of sweets you give to somebody. Sure. I want you to have a fresh bread this morning. Good morning. You bring out the egg we have here, you give to somebody. That's positive lifestyle for me. It is. Because you're planting seed in people's life and it's not much. You could be get an egg of 100 naira, you share it to 10 people. You make them, you spice up their life. You're a boss there, you pass your subordinates, you smile at them, how are you doing? How was your night? Chukuma, I heard your wife was sick. You get surprised. I keep my ears on the ground. How is she now? Chukuma, if it was heavy laden, Chukuma will...
Just that.
But then a lot of us take advantage of that. Yeah. You ask Chukuma, I heard your wife was sick, how is she now? Chukuma will say, this man is sympathetic. In the afternoon, he say,
that thing you were
asking me, I did not want to tell you. Actually, we're looking for money for discharge.
That's taking advantage of someone's... It's common over here too, but in living a lifestyle that is positive, we should avoid taking advantage of people. When people open their door, we shouldn't take advantage of that to use it to mix the people up. Rather, when people open their door, for me, every day, what I think of is, what should I give back? I have a friend. He was appointed a commissioner then in my state, and according to him, he said I was one of the privileged few he called. This guy, each time I go to his branch, he usually gives me money. He would just put something in the envelope and give to me. He gives something in the envelope and give to me. So one day, when he called me that day and said, Chuki, they've just nominated me for commission. Come and drive me. Let's go for clearance. I just said, okay. I went into my wardrobe. There were some shirts I got from London. I knew his size. I just picked one I know that will fit him and he loves so much. I put it in the bag. I got to his office. I said, oh, take this one. He said, no, you didn't have to. I said, no, you've been stealing from me. He said, how? I said, they say when the giver is a master to the collector. Nah, you've been collecting from... No, I don't want to be collecting. This is my... He was so excited.
No, some people don't know that.
It bonded us more.
Some people don't know that. The more you receive, the more you give out your blessing.
Of course.
But the more you give, the more you get blessed.
From me. No, you don't do that again. We laughed and we drove down. And it bonded us the more. People still don't understand that. When people give you, it doesn't mean that they can. Look for what people want and give them what they don't have. Once people don't have that, nobody's life is complete. Nobody's life is complete. So at every point in time, look for what you might give to someone that will always make the person remember you.
Exactly. Like cellular time, my driver traveled to Sokoto. He said, I'll be back so and so there. I said, oh, greet the people of Sokoto. Apparently, maybe I had put him on hold and I was talking to somebody that, till today, the person, I hope you're watching this thing. You have not sent my kilishi. So I was complaining, where is my kilishi? Where is my kilishi? Apparently my driver heard it. As he came back, he brought me this big bag of kilishi. And I was like, from where? He's like, no, I know you like kilishi, madam, so I brought kilishi for you. And that thing, it's stuck that now I just look at him and I'm like,
to outdo him.
Because that kilishi, see, how much is your salary?
See, what are you complaining? If they've given you a kilishi, God, you
don't call another person.
No. Don't call it. You must bring that kilishi. That kilishi, you must bring it. I hope you are watching this. But if not, I will send the show to you.
The kilishi might not come from this. This person might be given another thing that might be for the driver.
No, but that kilishi must come.
No. The driver may have done the work of this person. This person now do your work for the driver.
Okay.
So check what this person might give that might be for the driver.
No, he can still do the work for the driver, but that kilishi that he promised me, he must bring that kilishi.
All right. Please, whoever is owing kilishi, kindly pay. Anyway, my director is on my neck to round up, and the truth is I've enjoyed myself immensely. I used to think I was thinking alone, but there are a lot of people who share my view. Thank you for coming, Chikuma, the businessman, and no, with your plantain chips, you never give up. All right, live positive lifestyle. It's important. And positive lifestyle does not depend on how much you have. We've all said that here today. It depends on your mindset. What are you thinking? You are what you think. Live positive and think positive and be beautiful inside out. See you.